Hey everyone, welcome to The Explainer. So look, we've literally all been there, right? Your travel plans suddenly change out of nowhere, and you're just left staring at a non-refundable airline ticket, completely dreading that impending financial hit. But what if I told you that navigating an airline cancellation absolutely doesn't have to be a nightmare? Seriously, today we're going to take that totally dreaded American Airlines cancellation process and we're going to flip the script. We'll turn it into an empowering, money-saving tool for your future travels. Because really, did you know that you could unlock travel flexibility and get the most out of your canceled American Airlines flight? Stay tuned to discover the secrets to stress-free flight cancellations and maximizing your travel credit. Seriously, that's exactly what we're tackling today. We're going to dive deep into the rulebook so you can hold on to your hard-earned cash when life inevitably throws a wrench in your itinerary. All right, here's our game plan for today's explainer. First, decoding AA fare types. Then, canceling step by step. After that, we'll look at flight versus trip credits, followed by maximizing your travel credit, and finally, a quick summary and disclaimer. Okay, let's dive into this. And we're going to start with a pretty stark warning. This is a real quote from a very frustrated traveler over on the American Airlines subreddit. They lost $600 just because they misunderstood the fine print on expiration dates. Man, it's a harsh cautionary tale for sure, but it perfectly highlights exactly why understanding the fine print is absolutely crucial. When you're dealing with cancellations, you're not just clicking a button, You are managing a real financial asset. So let's kick things off with Section 1, Decoding AA Fare Types. Your refund options entirely depend on the specific rules attached to the ticket you originally bought.
To make absolutely sure you never end up in a situation like our Reddit friend, we gotta start at the very beginning. Before we even get into the weeds of complex fare classes, you really need to know about the ultimate get-out-of-jail-free card. The U.S. Department of Transportation mandates a strict 24-hour grace period. So what does this actually mean? It means regardless of what kind of ticket you buy, even the strictest basic economy, if you cancel within 24 hours of booking and your flight is at least 2 days away, you get a full 100% cash refund back to your original payment method. Period. Now, beyond that 24-hour window, things get interesting. American Airlines has actually eliminated most traditional change fees, which is a huge win for us. If you hold a main cabin or premium ticket, you can just cancel for a $0 fee and get a full travel credit. Fully refundable tickets naturally get you your cash back. But basic economy, that's the outlier here. It's generally entirely non-refundable, though American does now allow AAdvantage members to cancel basic economy for a pretty steep fee, usually ranging from $99 to $199, which they just deduct straight from your resulting credit. Moving right along to Section 2, Canceling Step by Step. Let's talk about how to actually process this smoothly without making any costly mistakes. So once you've figured out your fare class, it's execution time. But wait, do not touch your reservation until you've located these two crucial pieces of information in your original confirmation email. First, your record locator. That's a unique 6-character alphanumeric code used to pull up your specific itinerary. Second, your 13-digit ticket number. This one always begins with 0001, and guys, this number holds the actual financial value of your trip. Seriously, treat that 13-digit number exactly like cold, hard cash. All right, let's walk through the actual clicks on the website. You'll go to AA.com and click Manage Trips or Check-in. Then enter that 6-character record locator we just talked about along with your last name. Once your trip pops up on the screen, just hit the Cancel Trip button. Doing this online, directly on the site before your departure, is honestly the safest, most reliable way to ensure the system automatically converts your ticket into a flexible digital credit. Oh, and one more thing. Always save that cancellation confirmation email with the ticket number. Now, if you prefer, you can use the American Airlines mobile app, which follows the exact same straightforward process. However, a quick word to the wise. Calling customer service really should be your absolute last resort. I mean, unless you've got a super complex international itinerary, calling can lead to incredibly long hold times and sometimes even extra ticketing fees. Also, keep in mind, if you book through a third-party site, like, say, Expedia, you generally have to cancel directly through them, not American. Okay, Section 3, Flight versus Trip Credits. This is where we face the real villain we are going to defeat today, understanding the massive differences in those travel credits you just got. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what we're up against. American Airlines basically uses two very different currencies. A trip credit is awesome. It's essentially a digital gift card. It's highly flexible, and literally anyone can use it, meaning you can buy a ticket for a friend or a family member. A flight credit, on the other hand, is restrictive. It's literally just your old, unused ticket.
It keeps all of its original restrictions, meaning only the originally named passenger can use it, and you can't even use it to pay for extras like checked bags online. So whenever possible, you want a trip credit, which they usually issue if you cancel standard, non-refundable fares directly on AA.com.
Now, remember that cautionary tale from the Reddit user at the very beginning of the explainer? Well, this timeline visually shows exactly how they lost $600. The biggest trap with a flight credit is the expiration date. It expires 1 year from the date the ticket was originally purchased, not the day you hit cancel. So if you bought a ticket in January for a trip in August, but then you cancel it in July, guess what? That credit still expires the following January. The clock is already ticking the very second you hand over your credit card.
Let's pivot to Section 4, maximizing your travel credit. We know the traps. Now let's strategically play the airline's rulebook to your absolute advantage.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how surprisingly simple it is to beat the system. By default, if you aren't a loyalty member, a newly issued trip credit expires in just 6 months. But if you take literally 2 minutes to sign up for a totally free A-Advantage account and attach it to your booking, American Airlines instantly doubles the lifespan of that trip credit from 6 months to a full 12 months. It is entirely free to join, and boom, you just got half a year of extra breathing room to plan your next getaway.
When you finally are ready to redeem and rebook, keep these pro tips in your back pocket to extract every single dollar of value. You can combine up to 8 trip credits in a single online booking, which is fantastic for big trips. But if you're stuck with a restrictive flight credit, you can only use one at a time online, so you'd actually have to call in if you want to combine 2. Also remember, trip credits can pay for bags online, flight credits cannot. And here's a brilliant little hidden feature. If you use a flight credit to buy a new, cheaper ticket, American's system will actually return the leftover change to you as a highly flexible trip credit.
All right, bringing it all home with Section 5, Summary and Disclaimer. So, the crucial point is this. Let's rapidly distill these key takeaways so they really stick with you. Always utilize that 24-hour DOT grace period for a cash refund if you're eligible. Avoid basic economy fares if there's even a slight chance your plans might change, just to save yourself those penalty fees. Always try to cancel your trip directly on American.com before your departure. Know exactly how the expiration dates differ between flight and trip credits, and absolutely join the free A-Advantage program to extend your trip credit to a full year.
And of course, we do have to mention our disclaimer. The airline industry is super dynamic and policies frequently change. So please always verify these details directly with American Airlines or other trusted resources just to ensure this information perfectly applies to your specific ticket and situation.
Dealing with canceled flights can be incredibly stressful, but with the right knowledge, you totally have the power to take control. So, what about you guys? What are your own travel hacks? Or have you had a crazy American Airlines cancellation experience like our Reddit friend? Share them with us in the comments. We would absolutely love to hear your stories and learn from your experiences. Thanks so much for hanging out with me on this explainer, and safe travels.